Today, November 6, 2018 marks 10 years since I lost my job in the banking industry. And look where I'm at. New York City, Times Square. Got a show with NASDAQ, Real Talk, Facebook Watch. Let's go.
You can find the United app in your Play Store or App Store on your mobile device. Just click download and you can start the process for downloading that app so that you will be able to stream free movies and free TV shows in flight, provided that the streaming portion of the Wi-Fi is working.
4:30. Entrepreneur finally uploads the article of Carlos Gil that I shot, Chasing Opportunity, hid in New York. He just put it up, put it on Facebook, put it on YouTube, and now this is the time to celebrate.
This is the time to connect all the pieces of the puzzle together. You see right here, this is Entrepreneur's YouTube channel.
Oh, so explain one more time.
So this is Entrepreneur's YouTube channel right here. As you can see, this is their YouTube channel.
Okay.
477,000 subscribers. Almost 500,000.
So explain the native and the posting natively.
So by Entrepreneur posting this video on their YouTube, on their Facebook, now like all of their subscribers and followers will get notified and they'll have access to see this content, which will just blow it up to another level.
There it is.
If you want to get views on your content, you have to start promoting it before it even drops. So if you look at the date here on Facebook, November 21st, is when I wrote the article that just dropped a few minutes ago. And I went on Facebook and said, writing how to transition from a corporate job to being an entrepreneur. So I gave people the title up front. And I just put thoughts with a question mark. 54 people commented. So those are 54 touch points where I can now follow up and person by person send them a link so they can see the finished product. I feel you. Yeah, I'm here until Wednesday night and literally just have meetings booked back to back to back. Right now we're in Newark. The airport is cold. I'm getting ready to head over to New York.
Watch it fly, it's a silent moment filled with doubt. Now watch it die. Movies do not do justice for my life. People cannot imagine what it's like. This energy been feeling different, but it's on. Yo, these pretenders was around me, now they gone. It's been a financial coaster, 10 feet over shoulders. Moves with heavy rollers, drilling rocks with explosives. Making roads and remapping the fast route. Know who you talking to and careful what you ask about. Petty humans shooting at tower gratitude. They sending glass house, nobody's to shatter you. Nobody touching me, damn, y'all must be new here.
What up, Grand Fam? Just got that fresh cut and shave. I feel amazing. Thank you so much to my dude Kenny here at Gotham City Barbers in Hell's Kitchen. Now, let's go to NASDAQ and record some content. Let's get it. Big day on deck. Getting ready to go to NASDAQ to record for my show, Real Talk. By the way, if you haven't seen the show yet, make sure you swipe up, go over to Facebook Watch, hit that little subscribe button. Let's get it. Hey, Tyler, what's up, man? This is Carlos.
Hey, what's up, man? How are you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. Super stoked to get to ask you some questions.
Yeah, man. Drop it like it's hot.
We have 22 minutes on this.
So, I am really trying to nail down my personal brand and trying to figure out kind of how I'm going to start putting content out on social. I know that's where I have to be, but I'm just trying to figure out where I do that. While I was in college, I had some success running an online brand selling clothing products. We used those profits to feed like 1,000 kids in Dominican Republic. So I feel like I've got a little bit of e-commerce, digital marketing. I've kind of grown up doing some investments. So I guess the beginning of this year, I took like $600, turned it into like 25 grand over the course of like 7 or 8 months. So I've got some investment experience. I love traveling. I'm just trying to figure out how I put it all together, and also don't sound like a dope because
Right.
I'm 22, so I'm
Oh,
not
wow.
an expert at anything yet.
Well,
So how do I come across educational?
the first thing that comes to mind is, how did you flip $600 into 25 grand? I think regardless of your age, if that's something that you can teach, there's definitely a market out there for people that want to be illuminated and make more money, and knowing how is the key. So
Right.
that right there, I think, is a competitive difference maker for you versus other people that don't have that experience. But I think on an even broader level is, what is your purpose? So why do you want to have a personal brand? And I think that would be a question that, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts, but I think that's the number one question that you should ask yourself is, if I'm going to make an investment of time and money on growing my brand, what do I hope to accomplish from this? Because so many folks think that they need to have a personal brand because it's a prerequisite for something or it's a requirement for something, when in reality, it's really not. Your personal brand is going to precede you everywhere you go, whether you have an online presence or not. It's you, it's who you are. So a lot of people mix up personal and professional brand. At the end of the day, it's all the same thing. It's the brand of you. However, if you say, you know, Carlos, like, I really want to be able to influence and reach more people, then my follow-up question to that is, well, who do you want to influence and who do you want to reach? Because now the content that you put out is going to have to resonate with that audience. So it's more complex than just having a presence on Instagram and having a presence online. You really have to think of your personal brand as a business. And how are you going to grow that business over time for it to produce an outcome for you?
Right. And I've never really sat down and thought about who I want to go after.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of my followers, I've got probably like 5K followers, and it's very much a college age crowd. I don't want to limit myself on who my current followers are because, I mean, think about how many millions of people there are on Instagram.
Right. Well, let's break this down. So what is it that you do for a living?
So I am in commercial insurance.
Commercial
I
insurance.
sit down with business owners every day and try and figure out ways to help their business.
So are you looking to grow your personal brand so you can sell more commercial insurance policies?
I would love to do that because I do see this as being something I will do long term. But there's definitely other things that I love to do.
Right.
That I'd be very happy to do.
Where I see for you personal brand making a big difference to your pocket and your bottom line as a commercial insurance agent is connecting with commercial real estate agents. And that's a different play. That's not necessarily you using social media now to create tons of content about who you're hanging out with, what you're doing on the weekends, how you're partying and living your best life, but that's instead using platforms like LinkedIn to identify and network and engage with commercial real estate agents, which then are going to send you business. So you see, like, that's a very different play. A lot of people associate personal brand with, I have to be out there showing people what I'm doing 24/7. I have to drive a nice car. I have to flaunt it in people's face. I got to do these vlog style videos. And that's one element of personal branding. But in this case, if you're looking to really maximize your profitability on your current business, then your target audience and your customers are people looking to get insurance policies. In this case, they're probably going to be owners of buildings. They're probably going to be landlords and also real estate agents, commercial real estate agents. So then that's your target market. And I'd say to you, you're better off just going hard on LinkedIn, talking about your industry on LinkedIn, because that's where those people are. Now, if you say, I want to pivot away from that and do something different, then whatever that something different is, think about the audience. Think about where that audience lives online, and think about what sort of content that audience is already opting into. So I'll tell you what I tell everyone out there that hasn't necessarily, quote unquote, made it yet, and they aspire to have a personal brand. It's expensive and it's time consuming. And you can avoid spending a lot of time and money and it just go to waste if you're not reaching the right audience.
Right. Okay. So I've been reaching out and trying to connect with people on LinkedIn, but is there content I should start producing now? And also, again,
Absolutely.
I'm 22 and really new in commercial insurance. So are they going to say, hey, this kid really doesn't know anything? Or if you're producing good content, you can't argue with it.
People will always talk for the sake of talking. When I was 22 years old, I was managing a bank. I was a manager at a bank. And I was managing a multi-million-dollar loan portfolio as well. And people talked shit because I was a 21, 22-year-old branch manager in financial services, playing an older man's game at the time. And I didn't let it affect me, man. At the end of the day, age is just a number. So how you carry yourself, the value that you bring, the knowledge that you have, it's all, proportional. So I would say for you, if you enjoy writing, spend more time writing about the industry that you're in. And I don't know your industry all that well, but I would imagine there has to be publications around commercial insurance. There has to be conferences. There has to be already established media entities. So I know, like for real estate, for example, that exists. I'm more than certain for insurance it does as well. So you're in a really niche industry. So find out like who are the big players in terms of like media. How can you contribute to their publication? Because then that's going to help you amplify your personal brand on the back of an already established entity without you having to struggle to get those views and those likes and those reads. But you have to take up something like writing. Writing's important because you can teach people the value of what it is that you do. You can teach them how to get into the industry. Like now making the connection full circle to you being younger and predominantly having college friends. I don't know if your job incentivizes you for recruiting or bringing people on board, but if they do in any way whatsoever, like dude, you could literally be sitting on 7 figures right now because you could start using social media to recruit your friends that are probably posting crap about drinking and things that have nothing to do with being a professional. You can start setting that precedence within your own circles about what it's like being a 22-year-old working professional. And dude, that is sexy as fuck. Like there's a lot of curb appeal in that.
It sounds like that would be the play for Instagram. What does that look like? Not really logistically, but how do I make that happen on Instagram without looking showy and flashy, but make it really appealing?
How do you be really appealing without being showy and flashy? Just be yourself. Yeah. If you're not a flashy guy naturally, then you shouldn't try to portray yourself as being such. Right. That would be my best advice to you. Where do you live?
So I'm in just outside of Greenville, South Carolina.
Yeah, I love it. I've been to South Carolina many times. Yeah, man. So I don't think you need to be flashy to impress anyone. Impress people with the business opportunity that you can present to them. So if it's recruiting, start talking about your industry a lot on your industry. On Instagram, start telling people why you got into the business. If you have access to resources like a videographer, then leverage those resources that maybe like once a week or every other week you get together on a Saturday and you just do some vlog style content, or you do content of you sitting down talking about why you got in the business and why this is a business that another 22-year-old should think about getting into. And if you're ever going to talk about money, just keep it 100, man. Talk about how this business affords you the opportunity to live in the home that you live, do the things that you like to do, and provides a stable income for you. But the most important thing is teaching people how to do it. That's the key differentiator between people that have a winning personal brand, from my perspective, and people that are just flakes and trying to show off. If you can leverage these mediums to teach, then you're solid and you've won. We are keeping the momentum alive and well. The key to doing this is high energy. I'm convinced. Right, Rosie? It's high energy. Gotta be pumped.
Passionate.
Woo!
As Tony Robbins says, everything I have within me now.
Oh,
Say yes!
yeah.
Say yes!
Say aye!
Do you follow Tony Robbins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have been to UPW?
Have you did you do the whole mastery course yet?
No.
You have to do
No.
it. Oh my God.
I just spent a weekend, like, yeah!
Say yes.
Jumping up and down. He's an animal.
Yeah. But he's powerful though.
Yeah.
Beautiful soul.
I agree.
Like he just has so much compassion.
I agree.
And his wife too. His wife is amazing.
Yeah. And look like
domination. Oh, the goal, the reality is talk show. Want to empower women. I definitely want to empower my Latinas. Quiero estar con ellas. I want to be a powerful Latina that contributes and creates change and really presents storytelling to the best of its art form. And my book is coming out next year, which I'm super excited.
When's it drop?
2019 towards the end. So I'm super.
I'm right there with you.
I'm super excited. You'll be the first to know.
So in the past, I've been churning out videos for like 5 years now, where it's just me, and it's like my ego, and it's my videos. And I'm so proud of them, but I've been very scared to let go of some of the process. So 2019 is just me expanding.
All right, Grand Fam, I just finished my second interview here at NASDAQ with Rebecca Minkoff. The interview was fire. She's amazing. Make sure that you tune into her podcast, which is called Super Women with Rebecca Minkoff. Fourth interview of the day, I'm with this guy, Mike McNano. He's the founder of Anchor. Make sure that you follow him and go to anchor.fm to start your podcast today.
Can't wait to hear it.
How can we take some of this content and start promoting it natively on your channels? Like obviously your reach as a big publisher is a lot greater than mine, but I think you would agree the win-win is like, I'm bringing you guys content, it's good, at least I think so. You guys have, like, you tell me if it sucks, then just tell me it sucks, but like you guys have really good reach.
Yeah.
So what can we do in order to kind of get me more so in your ecosystem on a native basis?
On to the next. All right, Grand Fam, I just wrapped up at NASDAQ, hopped in an Uber, 20 minutes away from where I was, and I'm 5 minutes early for my next meeting, so I'm excited. I don't like when people have to wait for me.
Over the past decade of working here, and especially in this wine business, momentum is, in any given moment, finding what the arbitrage is, or where you need to spend your time and kind of going all in on that, whether that's defensive or offensive. So in the wine business, there's a lot of regulations and compliance, and being able to say, okay, I've identified this as an issue, I'm going to put my momentum all into that. And so 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, 2 months later, you feel comfortable that that box is checked. And then that momentum can lead you into something new that you go all in on, again, whether defensive or offensive.
When I think about the word momentum, I think of either negative momentum or positive momentum. And then ultimately it can snowball from there. I think especially in the early days of a company, it could be really, really hard to get sucked down into the negatives, whether it's, hey, we need, XYZ is the problem, and getting caught up in that. I think on the flip side, how do you maintain the positive momentum and then let that snowball on top of each other?
It's a good question. Momentum is moving energy forward. It's taking your experiences, your past, what you've done, and trying to push that forward to whatever the next thing may be. It's probably easier said than done, but it's carrying weight and making sure that you're always moving forward and not sidestepping, and not being afraid to be aggressive with decision making.
That's why you gotta ride the momentum wave. If you see me right now, man, with my eyes closed, my head back, it's because now I'm crashing. I've already done what I had to do. I've performed. I've put in multiple performances. And now it's time, man, to process it all, jump on that flight, go back home, and tomorrow's another day filled with opportunities. So when people talk to me about success, that they want to be successful, you close one deal, you're successful. You show up and you perform, you're successful already. Success is a mindset. How successful do you want to be? That's in here. There's no one else that's going to be able to tell you that you're successful but you, and truly believe it. If everything came to a stop right now, I'd say, you know what? I lived a good life. I succeeded. Did I accomplish everything I wanted to do? No. But at least I succeeded. I was successful in doing things I set out to do. And that's all you can hope for. Real talk. What up, Hustle Diaries? Welcome back. We're here in LA. All new season, all new content, all new experiences. Stay tuned.